Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and this is my product tour of the Sanyo Xacti VPC-SH1 dual camera. Now, about a week or so ago I gave you an unboxing of this product and now I just want to give you a tour around the camera. Very briefly, this is an HD camcorder. Sanyo have termed it a dual camera because it also takes 10 megapixel still photos. Now, with regards to video, it will actually record 1920 by 1080p at up to 60 frames per second. Now, quick tour around the exterior of the camera. Here we've got a speaker which is housed on the outside of the screen, and then round the back of the camera we've got the main controls, and here we've got a button which you can activate the taking of still photos up to that 10 megapixel resolution, and here we've got the record button which you press to activate recording, and then we've got a four-way joystick control here which is used for navigating around the menus, and you also push it in and out and that sort of acts as an OK button as well. Then we've also got a menu button just underneath. Just here is a little lanyard connector so you can attach a wrist strap to it. Now around this side of the camera we've got a little door that we can undo, and this reveals the battery. Now the battery I've been using has been lasting me for around about an hour and a half to 2 hours between charges, and then that flapped door just pops back on very easily. And then just behind the front of the lens we've got another little cover which reveals the power socket. Now you can use the camera whilst it's charging, and you charge the battery whilst it's actually inside the camera. Around the front of the camera we've got this rather nice lens. This offers up some great optics actually. It's a 35mm wide angle lens, and it also has a 30x advanced zoom, so nice amount of reach on it, and very good quality in my tests so far. I've been very impressed by that. Just underneath we've also got the flash, and that's got quite a good reach as well in my test so far, but I'll tell you more about that in the full review. And then just popping around to the underneath of the camera, very plain affair. All that we can see here is a tripod mount, and then this is the second little hole where some tripod mounts have a little bit sticking up so you can make sure that they're straight on the tripod. And then you can see just tucked under here, this is the memory card slot. You can't actually get to that without opening up the screen, so I'll show you that again in a minute. And then onto the top of the camera, here we've got some additional controls. We've got a rocker switch here which is for zooming in and out whilst you're recording, and then up the front of the camera are some what they're calling sub controls, which are used if you're going to actually take video or photos at low angles. So if you imagine you're holding this maybe at knee level, you don't want to reach around and use these controls on the back. Well, these two do exactly the same. They either take a still photo or start the camcorder recording. So now let's open up the screen. I've got it set to quick start, so it actually starts up straight away when I open the screen, and it's a 2.7-inch widescreen. That's 6.9 centimeters. Very clear. Very pleased with the screen actually. It's not a touch screen, but it gives you all the information you need, and the colours that are replicated on it are pretty good. We've also got details on the screen here as to what mode I'm in. So I'm actually in 10 million pixel shooting mode for photos. This is how much space I've got on my memory card, and if I'm taking video I'm on high definition super high quality, and I've got space for 3 hours and 3 minutes of recording left. Just of note, I've got a 16GB card in here at the moment. This little symbol here shows I'm recording to the SD card. There is a small amount of internal memory in here, not a great amount, about 50 megabytes, but this actually shows that I'm using the SD card at the moment. And then the very bottom display there, it's just turned off unfortunately because it's on power save, but this very bottom right hand corner is showing the amount of remaining battery life. Now just inside here we've also got some extra buttons and extra connections. We've got a record play button, and that switches it from record mode to playback mode. Now I've got little thumbnails of my previous recordings, and then switch it back again to record mode. And then I've also got an on-off button. Then two little connections here, USB AV connection. So this acts as both a video out in standard definition, so using composite cables. The cable is actually supplied in the box, and the USB function of it allows you to transfer your captured data over to your computer. And then we've got HDMI, and this is for playing back high definition footage onto your HD TV. Now this little flap here that I mentioned is where you put the SD card. It will accept SD, SDHC and the new SDXC, the very high capacity cards that have just been released. Popping the card in is very simple, and then you just close the flap again. So I'll give you a brief look at the menus as well while we're on the video, and if I tap the menu button it goes into the menus. I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see these up a little closer. Now if I pop all the way up to number 1 here, so this is recording menu 1, and into the video options, you can see I can choose from 1920 by 1080 all the way down to a very low resolution, which is 192 by 108 at 600 frames per second. There's also just a voice record function right at the end there. Push the menu button to go back one stage, and if I go down to photos I can select from 10 million pixels all the way down to a 4 million pixel high speed setting. Then we've got some scene selects. At the moment it's on auto, but we've got sports, portrait, landscape, night portrait, snow and beach, fireworks, and the turning on of that front lamp. Then we've got some filters, cosmetic, monochrome and sepia. The flash settings, we can actually set it to auto, forced flash or permanently switched off. We've also got self timer, and then in menu number 2 for the recording functions we've got a video stabilizer just at the top here, a photo stabilizer, some different focus functions as well. We've got normal, manual or super macro, and then focus modes we've got 9-point autofocus or spot focus, exposure measure. We've also got some ISO settings. Next one down we've got a white balance feature, which has got a lot of auto modes, or a mode that I use a lot, which is a one push mode, where you put something white in front of the lens and then it meters that to give you a white balance. We've got exposure modes, target and subject, high sensitivity, digital zoom, and also record folder settings. Then if we go into the actual option menus, we can set the clock, how the display works, sound, post view, shortcuts, noise reduction, colour and image settings, as well as brightness and language. And then that last one is for setting the TV output power save, file number, which is how it's going to actually name the files, also to format the SD card or reset to factory settings. Now right at the bottom we can actually push the set button to switch it to simple menu. So let's do that. So we've changed over to simple menu settings now, and here you can see we've only got if I go into the menus, we've only got select video and photo size, select focus mode, select flash mode, or going back to that more detailed menu. So very easy to set up. Recording is very easy indeed. I can't really stress that enough. To set a recording going, all you have to do is push the record button and it starts recording. We get a timer here showing that it's recording. When I want to stop recording, I just push the button again. Taking a photo, just as easy. You just hold down the photo button, it focuses in and takes the photo. This screen does also rotate, so you can rotate up and down. You can also go all the way round, so you can actually have it pointing at yourself, and you can also fold that back onto the body of the camera. So plenty of ways of positioning the screen as well. And obviously closing the screen puts the camcorder into standby mode. So this is the Sanyo Xacti VPC-SH1. It's got some extra features that I will cover in the full review, such as the digital image stabilization, also the face chaser feature, and some sound zoom features as well for when you're zooming in and out of the action. But I'll save those for the review and also give you my opinion in that video that's coming up soon on the channel. So I hope that this tour has given you an idea of what you get with the Sanyo Xacti VPC-SH1. Please do come back soon to the Geekanoids channel for the full review of this tiny little dual camera. This video review is sponsored by Crucial, the memory experts. They provide reliable PC, notebook and Mac memory to boost your system performance and improve your general workflow.